Yeah. I was excited. Yeah, he picked me and another person, but it was like, he picked me. I was chosen. Y'all heard what he said?
I really wanted him to pick me because I knew he was going to pick me over Shakira, but he just couldn't let her down.
The soft glow of the Atlanta evening set the mood, but nothing was more electric than the conversation about to unfold between Scrappy and Britney, a moment neither of them could have scripted, but one they both knew had been coming after months. Of quiet dinners, deep conversations, late-night drives through back roads, and soul-surging moments, Scrappy, the same man who once ran from emotional commitment like it was the plague, was now standing face-to-face with something real. Something raw, something that demanded more than just charm. Sitting close to Britney, whom he affectionately calls his sexy fake Brit, Scrappy couldn't help but flash that familiar grin, the one that masked nerves with swagger as he leaned in and began to open up. They weren't just two people on a show anymore, they were two hearts tangled in the aftermath of heartbreak, slowly learning to trust again. I be telling my mama to be nice in relationships, but she don't be nice to nobody, Scrappy said with a half laugh, clearly trying to ease into a heavier conversation. But this wasn't about just anybody, this was about Britney. Tell her to be nice to me, she replied, not missing a beat, her voice soft but firm, layered with a confidence born from self-respect. The truth is, Scrappy had never courted anyone like this before. His past relationships were chaotic, explosive, and fast. This was different. With Britney, everything slowed down, not because of hesitation, but because they respected the process. When they met, both were drowning in the emotional aftermath of divorces. The timing wasn't ideal, but somehow the connection was. Scrappy remembers the exact moment he told Britney about the Shay and Shakira situation, how everything was still messy, still healing. You got a lot going on, she had told him then. And instead of walking away, she asked for space, for clarity. That maturity stuck with Scrappy. He saw something in Britney he hadn't seen in a long time: stability, patience, and a quiet strength that reminded him of what real love could feel like. Now, sitting beside her under the stars, he wasn't just reflecting, he was declaring. I feel like we was able to get through it all, he said, his voice low, his words coming from someplace deeper than usual. Now, we really tapped in, we locked in, the moment felt sacred, like the first time you tell someone you love them, even if you're not saying the exact words yet. Their conversation drifted naturally, from cowboy jokes to horse bar metaphors, but beneath the laughs, there was a shared understanding. This was becoming serious. This is the first time in my life I'm courting somebody, Scrappy admitted, surprising even himself, like really learning what they want, what they like. And I love it. His words weren't just surface-level romance, they were a quiet testimony to the growth he was experiencing for a man who had spent so much of his adult life chasing the next thrill, the next storyline. This was new ground. And Britney, she matched his energy without forcing it. Coming from where we both come from, she replied, I just didn't see the need to rush into it. It was as if their souls were finally catching up to each other. The topic of exclusivity came up, and Scrappy didn't hesitate. I've been exclusive, he said firmly. You mine? I ain't even gonna play with it. And the look in Britney's eyes said everything. She believed him. Maybe for the first time in a long time, she felt seen, felt chosen. This wasn't just a storyline for the cameras. This was to people rewriting their futures in real time. The moment hovered in the air like a promise neither of them wanted to break. You mine like for real dinosaur, Scrappy joked, biting the tension with a bit of humor. Biting all the heads off, Britney laughed, but her smile held something deeper, maybe relief, maybe gratitude, maybe just the joy of feeling safe. You really got me wanting to be in a relationship again, Scrappy confessed, eyes fixed on her, voice shaking just enough to show the truth behind the words. Like, I don't want to be off forever, outside, in them streets. I want to make it happen for real. He paused before dropping a line that changed the tone entirely. I feel like I'm ready for you to meet my siblings. That was no small step. In Scrappy's world, family was sacred. If he was inviting Britney into that circle, it meant she had already become something more than just a casual flame. She nodded slowly, not fully reacting yet, and he followed it up with, I want you to meet my mom and my daddy, but I want you to meet them when it's the right time. Let me be yours first, cause you know my mama, the pause spoke volumes. Everyone knows Mama Dee is a firecracker wrapped in rhinestones and apologetic, intense, and wildly protective. She's been known to derail relationships before they even had a chance to grow roots. But Britney didn't flinch. That's fine, she said, I'll wait. Her voice was calm, but there was power behind it. She wasn't intimidated. She was patient, but not passive. Put in a good word for me, she added, her tone playful but with a slight edge. Tell your mama to be nice to me. Scrappy laughed, rubbing the back of his neck. I be trying to tell her to be nice in any relationship, he said. She don't be nice to nobody, but Britney cut through the noise. I'm not talking about just any relationship, she said. I'm talking about this one. Tell her to be nice to me. And there it was, the line that defined the entire scene. This wasn't a fling. This wasn't temporary. Britney was planting her flag, making it known that she was here and she expected to be respected. I'm definitely going to tell her, Scrappy promised. I'm gonna be like, hey, be nice to her. But Britney wasn't letting him off that easy. No, she corrected him. You gotta say, be nice to her because I really like her. The moment froze, thick with vulnerability. I really like her, Scrappy repeated, the words echoing in the air like a vow. It was subtle. It was sweet, but it was powerful. This was the beginning of something neither of them expected, but both of them needed. The journey wasn't over, not by a long shot, but in that moment, under the soft glow of the evening sky, two people who had been broken found a reason to believe in love again. As the air grew heavier with unspoken emotions and the night sky stretched darker above them, it was clear that something major had shifted between Scrappy and Britney. This wasn't just a cute date or a flirty moment, it was the kind of scene that defines an entire chapter in someone's life. After so many years of heartbreak, betrayal, baby mama drama, public scrutiny, and a revolving door of half-baked relationships, Scrappy found himself sitting across from a woman who wasn't just listening, she understood. And Britney, with her quiet strength and honest energy, wasn't here for attention or status. She was here for him, the real him, not the rapper, or the reality star, or the man everybody thought they knew, but the one who was learning how to love properly, maybe for the first time. As they both sat there, reflecting on where they had come from and where they might be headed, Scrappy reached for her hand with a softness that betrayed just how hard life had been lately. He didn't speak right away. He didn't need to. The silence was a language of its own now, saying more than words ever could. But then, with a slow breath, he broke it. He began, looking down at their hands intertwined. It took me a long time to understand what it meant to build something real, not just vibe with somebody, but actually grow with them. His voice cracked slightly. You different? Britney. Like, real different. And I can't even lie, I ain't used to it. But I'm thankful. She blinked, her expression softening, but not melting. Britney had heard words like that before, but what made them land this time was the way Scrappy looked at her like she was home. I just want peace, she said gently, and I want honesty. That's all I ask. Be real with Emmy, no matter what. That hit him harder than he expected, and for a moment he just nodded, swallowing the weight of that request. Peace and honesty, simple words, but ones that had always felt out of reach in his past. You got that, he finally whispered. With me, you got that, but reality was never too far behind. They both knew that any real relationship, especially in their world, couldn't survive without passing the ultimate test, family. And in Scrappy's world, that meant one thing: Mama Dee. The name alone made the mood shift slightly. Everyone knew Mama Dee wasn't just another overprotective parent. She was a whole force of nature, royalty in her own mind, ruthless in her judgments, and completely unfiltered in every opinion. She had a reputation for interfering, for steering the ship even when no one asked her to. Scrappy knew that bringing Britney around wasn't just about meeting family, it was about watching how two powerful women would react to each other. "She don't trust easy," he said carefully, breaking the silence. "She's seen me hurt, lie, fall apart, and get back up again. So now, anytime I bring someone around, she thinks they just another storm waiting to wreck me." Britney didn't flinch. "I'm not a storm," she said. "I'm shelter." That line caught Scrappy off guard. He looked up at her, stunned by the simplicity and strength in her words. Shelter. She wasn't coming to bring chaos, she was here to help him heal from it. "That's why I need her to know you the real deal," he said. "Not just for show, not just for cameras." He paused. "I don't even want you to meet her until I know I'm yours. Like, all the way. I want us to be good first." That confession carried weight. He wasn't just afraid of his mother's judgment, he was afraid of losing something real before. It even had a chance, but Britney didn't pressure him. She respected the process. "I can wait," she said again. "But I won't wait forever if I don't feel seen." Scrappy nodded, taking that in. She was giving him patience, but not a blank check. She knew her worth. That's what made her powerful. "I see you," he said, voice heavy. "Every day, I see you more and more. I know I ain't always the best at showing it, but I swear I do." They both leaned back, the tension between them replaced by something softer, comfort, possibility, a rare moment of calm in a world that was always loud. "I told my mama to be nice," Scrappy added, smirking, "but she don't listen to nobody. I'm gonna have to hit her with the full speech. Be nice to her, mama, because this the one I really care about." Britney grinned, not from ego, but from something deeper. For once, a man was fighting for her, not against her. "Good," she said. "Because I'm not going into any situation begging for respect. I want to be met with it," and Scrappy, for all his flaws, heard her loud and clear. This was no longer a casual thing. They were now entering the part of the story where choices mattered. Where commitment wasn't just a promise, it was a practice. Where meeting each other's people meant confronting old ghosts, healing family wounds, and standing tall in a love that could actually last. And though they didn't know what would come next, how Mama Dee would react,